You can't go very deep into the keto or low-carb culture and not learn about mug cakes. It seems like they're everywhere. And today we're going to talk about 7 options for you to enjoy nice muffins made in a mug. Well, my love, it's great to have you back on Beat Diabetes.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Well, it is always a blessing. So we're going to start today with an imaginary scenario. You know, I like to use illustrations and scenarios that aren't really based on truth, but they make a point.
Yes.
So let's imagine you've just joined the Army. We'll call it Dennis's Army. And you go there, and there is a sergeant telling you you will soon be in battle. And he gives you a stick as your weapon and sends you out to battle. What would you think about such a leader?
Such a leader, he's a great leader, but not to give me a stick to go into the battle. What am I going to do? Start knocking them on the head with the stick?
Okay, well, there's a lot of problems with that, right?
Yeah.
Number one, you're supposed to have a uniform if you're in the Army, right? What Army would not have a uniform? You're supposed to be given proper weapons so that you can be effective. And then probably most importantly, you're supposed to get training, right?
Yes.
Be trained how to march, how to fight, strategy, digging foxholes, all kinds of things you have to learn before they'll turn you loose in a battle. They will not just turn you loose.
No.
So I think sometimes I have been guilty of trying to turn soldiers loose in the low-carb battle against diabetes without giving them proper equipment and maybe training. I'll say low-carb, low-carb, low-carb.
Yeah.
But a lot of them get kind of grumpy with me, and they say, well, what do you mean low-carb, and what are some examples? What can we eat? And, you know, get specific, Dennis. And there's truth to that.
Okay.
See, this whole business of cooking is not my natural thing. I never grew up saying, oh, I just wish I had a cooking show. I just wish I had I wanted to be an athlete. At one point, I wanted to be a great evangelist. I never wanted to be some kind of a cooking expert.
No.
But it's amazing how we get pushed in directions by a divine hand, and we just have to flow with it. So I know that we need to sometimes give our people that watch our videos specifics. We need to equip them. Yeah. And one of the things about the low-carb lifestyle, it will beat diabetes. It will get your glucose down. And chances are it'll help you lose weight.
Yes.
But there's one other thing. You have to have a lifestyle that you can live with.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times people will try to give us a lifestyle, but we do it for a while and we're like, I can't do this the rest of my life.
Yeah, some of them are stressful.
I can't live with this.
Mm-mm.
For example, I could write a book, how to lose weight and how to get your glucose levels down with one page, just one page. And on that one page, I would say,
one page is going to be the book.
Eat nothing but cucumbers, drink nothing but water. Morning, noon, and night, it's cucumbers all the way, baby.
Short story.
Now, do you think anybody would lose weight eating a cucumber and water diet?
Yeah.
You would lose weight, right? Nobody's going to pig out on cucumbers, and they're not high in calories. Would your glucose come down? Sure it would.
Yep.
Because a cucumber is a very low-carb vegetable.
Yes.
So you could eat cucumbers and drink water, solve your weight problem, solve your glucose problems. All would be well except for one thing, and that would be nobody could live that way. Nobody could do that all of their life.
I was about to say that book will sell very well. Now you are saying that nobody will live like that, which means the book is not selling. Well,
people pick that up on the books, off the bookshelf, and they'll look at it. And page 1, which is the only page, eat cucumbers, drink water. And it's like, well, I don't need to buy the book. But
yeah, I'll pass.
Not only that, it just wouldn't work. You would soon get tired. You'd soon give up. So if you're going to stay with it, you got to have options. You got to have a fairly enjoyable, pleasant diet. And people leave comments saying, oh, I can't stand all these foods. You know, I want to go back to my old way. Well, the reality is there's a lot of nice foods.
Yes.
So what we're going to do today, we are going to equip people to go out into Dennis and Benedicta's army and beat diabetes.
Yes.
We're going to give them their uniform.
Beat them on the head.
We're going to give them their weapons. We're going to give them their training. And well,
get the diabetes out of here.
We can't do it all on this one short video, but we can help a little bit along those lines by giving them something besides cucumbers. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And
after eating the cucumbers, they got desserts to go with it.
There you go.
This is it.
Eat your cucumbers for your main meal, and go to your mug cakes.
Mug cake. Mm-hmm.
Now, I first heard of mug cakes years ago.
Okay.
And believe it or not, it was Dr. Oz that I believe was the very first person I heard talk about mug cakes.
You watch Dr. Oz too?
I don't normally watch him, but
I'm the one that watched Dr. Oz, and now he's claiming that he's the one that watched Dr. Oz. Really?
No, I don't watch him hardly, but I don't even know where it came from. It might have been on Google or YouTube. I don't know, but somehow
you stumbled on it.
I stumbled across him promoting a mug cake, and I was fascinated because I thought, well, isn't that cool? You can make a muffin or a little cake in a mug in the microwave in, a minute and a half or so. I thought that was cool. The problem was what he was recommending, and a lot of them were recommending in those days, was ground flaxseed, which just doesn't have much good taste to it. It's not that great. So I pretended to like it, and I put some jelly on it. It was passable, but it was like, well, if this is the best I can do with a mug cake, I don't think I'll be eating these all that often. But suddenly, the internet began to explode with different recipes for mug cakes. So, what is a mug cake? It's a little cake or a muffin you make in a mug, right?
In the mug, yep.
Now, lately, you ever hear of a ramekin?
What is that?
That is this. This is called a ramekin. I didn't know about it either until I was watching Joe Duff, the diet chef, has a great keto channel, and he's a really great cook, far better than me. And he talked about how he makes all his mug cakes in these ramekins. Well, I kind of like the idea versus the ordinary mug. Like, for example, this one. This is tall and kind of skinny, so you end up with a tall, skinny cake.
Right.
This is much wider. So I thought, well, this is an improvement.
Yes.
But if you can find a large mug like this one, these are about the same diameter. Okay. So this would work equally well. And the advantage this has is these babies are hot when they come out of the microwave. You can't pick them up. In fact, you almost have to put the oven mitts on both hands to pick them up and empty them. Yeah. But with this, you've got a nice handle that's not going to get that hot. So in a way, this is superior to my thinking.
Right.
Anyway, we've got here 7 mug cakes. I'm not going to claim originality with all of them. In most cases, I've got them from somebody and then Dennisized them and changed them a little bit and found something that that works for me.
I watch you do this every evening.
Well, not every evening, but a lot of evenings.
Every other evening, like when you run out, you go for another one. So
starting from that end, and
why are we not starting from that end?
Well, we're going to there's a reason for this, but I don't have time to tell you. This is the basic muffin in a mug that I use all the time.
Oh.
So what we're going to do is sample these and see how we like them. I know how I like them. I've had them dozens of times, if not hundreds.
Right.
But go ahead, take a little bite.
It's good.
Yeah. I rarely have these by themselves.
Yeah, I know how you make it.
Usually I'll mash up about 3 strawberries, put it over the top, and put some whipped cream over them.
Yes.
Outstanding. You can put blueberries in here.
Yeah.
You can put sugar-free jam on top. There's a lot of ways you can make these more exciting. They're not at all bad by themselves. Put a little butter on them, which is what we had today, right?
Yeah, we had it in the afternoon.
We actually had 2 of these just to make sure that Mike would approve of these mugs, of these mug cakes.
And Mike did approve it.
Mike did approve. You started out before our mug cakes. We had 2 of them for lunch. You started out at what?
86.
86. 1 hour after eating 2 mug cakes, and this one we had some nuts and some whipped cream. This one we just put butter on.
Yes.
We had 2. Now, they're not the full mug cakes. We cut them into thirds. So we each had a third of this one and a third of that one.
Yes.
They were much bigger. They were like this size and then cut into thirds. After 1 hour, you went to 87. Yeah, you went up 1 point, 87. Yeah. And then after 2 hours, you actually went down to, say, 81. 81. So, basically, nothing at all.
No, it's good.
If anything, you went slightly down.
Yeah.
No effect on glucose to speak of. In my case, I started out quite a bit higher. I would start out at 98, went up to a 102, went back down to 100 at 2 hours. So 102 after 1 hour, 100 after 2 hours. So Mike says these are okay. We didn't test every one of them, but there's just not enough carbs to make them a danger to glucose. Right. Now, this was our second one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a little bite. Now, I normally will put some whipped cream on this, so let me go ahead and put a little whipped cream. Whipped cream has like 1 gram of sugar for 2 tablespoons, so very little. And just take a little bite of that.
Really good.
You taste the chocolate. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would say, well, chocolate, that's not keto. Chocolate, that's not low carb. I'm going to have a little bit of my coffee here. The reality is chocolate is low carb. What makes chocolate not low carb is the fact that they jam in a lot of sugar before they sell it. If you could stop them and say, stop the press, don't jam in all that sugar, which you can buy unsweetened chocolate, it's not a problem. Then you sweeten it with stevia or erythritol or something like that, and you're good. It's not going to affect your blood sugar much.
Yeah.
Now, this is also a chocolate mug cake. The difference with this is we used some low-carb chocolate chips, stuck them in the middle, and that's something I learned from Joe Duff, the diet chef, as he calls himself. Bake it about halfway, pull it out of the microwave, throw some chips in there, and then pour the rest of the batter on. So you don't start with all the batter. You start with about half the batter, bake it halfway, put the rest of the chips. They'll stay at the mid-level.
That's good.
Then you put the rest on there, bake it the rest of the way, and then you melt some more chips and put them on top.
Wow.
Now, had we eaten this immediately after it came out of the microwave, you'd have loved it because it was all gooey and oozy like a volcano of chocolate. But now it's dried up because I've been making these all day long.
Yeah.
So there's no way we could have these fresh out of the microwave and be doing this and have our camera set up and our lighting and our audio and so forth.
But it's still good when it cools
it'll still
down.
be good. So we'll put a little whipped cream on this one and take a bite of that and see if there's much difference to you from the other chocolate one. This has more chocolate to it.
Oh, this is better.
You like that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too. It's a little moister, a little more chocolatey, thanks to Joe Duff. So, Joe Duff, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Now, this one is a lemon poppy seed cake. Now, let me look up who I got this one from. This wasn't Joe. Who was this from? This was Joe. This was Joe Duff. I had 2 from Joe, but he recommended a glaze. So this is a little glaze put together with some butter and some sweetener, and I threw in a little bit of lemon juice into it to give it more of a lemony flavor. So this has got the poppy seeds. It's got the lemon juice in it. So the idea is this is a lemon poppy seed muffin. So go ahead and take a bite of that and see if you, number 1, taste the lemon, and number 2, how you like it.
It's good, but I'm not crazy about it.
Okay. Well, Joe, sorry about that. Benedicta can give it her seal of approval. I actually like it a lot.
It's good. What I'm saying, it's good, but how did I go for this one, that one?
Joe Duff is not going to be happy with you, young lady.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No, he seems like a nice guy. Mm-hmm. I recommend his channel, by the way. He's, like I said, he's far more of a cook than I am. No, I like this as well. To me, they always talk about, well, it's apples to oranges, meaning they're so different you can't really compare them.
Yeah.
To me, this is like apples to oranges, except it's chocolate lava cake to poppy seed lemon cake. I think they're both great, but they're totally different.
Yeah.
So if you're a chocolate lover, obviously this will be your choice.
Right.
If you're not, maybe this. Now, this is an interesting, and this one did not come from Joe Duff. This one came from a lady on a YouTube channel called Keto Focus. Keto Focus.
Focus.
And this is pecan pie muffin in a mug. Pecan pie.
There's pecan inside it?
Well, no, actually. But there is a syrup that I used in the batter. And then we've got this topping that has pecans.
Okay.
And it has butter. And it has some more of that syrup.
Yeah.
That is supposed to emulate the taste of eating pecan pie. Not everybody likes pecan pie. But this ought to be interesting. And this one she eats with some whipped cream. So, move that on over.
Right.
And take a bite of pecan pie muffin in a mug. And I haven't even tried this, so I don't know myself.
It's good. Looks like everything is good with the, that whipping something.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
It's good.
And it's unique. It's completely different from the other ones.
Did you put sugar in there?
Not real sugar, no. I used
it's kind of
erythritol,
sweet.
And then I used that syrup that I think has, I forget what it has.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
It's quite good. Now, I call these muffin in a mug, but I'm sort of being inaccurate here.
Okay.
Because this one, let me get this coffee out of the way, this one is more a cookie in a mug. If you notice, it's not. It's much more.
It's strong,
hard, and it has the consistency of a cookie.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and a teen, my mom made a lot of cookies.
Okay.
Me and my buddies would always eat Mom's cookies.
Right.
This is a chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
They use a sweetener that emulates brown sugar, but it's a low carb version of brown sugar.
Yeah.
I haven't tasted this, so I can't guarantee. It looks just like a cookie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It
tastes good, too.
If you like cookies, or you used to like cookies, I can't have cookies, well, now you can. Again, I feel almost certain Mike will approve every single one of these, because there's the basic heart of these is almond flour, which is made out of nuts and very low carb. And then you throw in some other things, like maybe some heavy cream. Yeah. I liked every one of them. And a couple of these I'll start making more often.
Yeah. They're all very good, you know.
Now, this last one,
the best part of it is not going to raise your blood sugar.
Right. This last one, when I made this, I was thinking about Africa and India.
Yeah.
And here's what I was thinking. I mean, we have people watching our videos from all over the world.
Right.
Some of them in big cities, some of them in small villages.
Right.
And I know enough about Africa to know that if you live in a small village, your options are limited. Number one, you're not going to get Amazon packages coming your way. You're probably not going to be able to buy anything on eBay. And whatever you can buy, you're probably going to have to go to the neighborhood market and walk down the street and buy it.
We have big markets, we have small markets all over the place.
So I said to myself, okay, what about our African and Indian friends that live in little villages where they can't get almond flour? They can't buy Swerve and different products that we're using on all these others.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, there's one thing you find everywhere, and that is peanuts. Okay. I've never been... that I know of to any little village or city where you couldn't buy a little bag of peanuts.
Right.
Right? So I thought, well, you could take peanuts and you could crush them fine until you make a kind of a nut flour. Yeah. Because that's what almond flour is. It's almonds crushed real fine until they become almond flour. Yeah. Now, if you live in a little village and there's no almonds around, you can always buy peanuts, and they're cheap. So for people that don't have a lot of money, you can always get peanuts. Find a way to mash them up, whether it's with a hammer or with a grinder or whatever you can do. Throw in some baking powder, because all these use baking powder, except for the cookie. I don't think it uses it. And if you can't find any sweeteners, throw in a few strawberries or blueberries just to kind of give it won't be as sweet as the others, but at least it'll be something you can try. So now I made this just throwing it together at the last minute. And when I tasted it, I wasn't too impressed. So go ahead and take a taste of one of these and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
I used organic peanut butter in this.
Yeah, it's really good. There's peanut butter, I can taste it, and, salt.
There's peanut butter, I think a little salt. There's a little almond flour in there, but the main ingredient is peanut butter. And then, so if you're from a village where you can't get hardly anything, you can always get some peanuts, mash them up, throw in a little baking powder, experiment, throw in a few strawberries or a few blueberries if you can find some of those. And again, you don't have to have a microwave. You can put these in the oven and bake them that way, or put them over a fire. So where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've gotten through them. Would you say that these are winners?
Yeah, they're all winners. I love it.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. So far as what we tested, the result was really good. So I am up for it.
Yeah. The good news is, folks, you don't just have to eat cucumbers and drink water, right?
No.
There are all kinds of options for you. Don't be crying around and whining that there's nothing you can eat. There are a lot of things you can eat, and we'll try to get you a few more things here and there just to show you some of the options that are available. And as we keep the carbs low, keep that glucose in bounds, you're going to find your A1C dropping.
Yeah.
Want to close it off for us?
Yeah, okay. Before I close, I just want to say that, I made this coffee and...
She wanted credit for something, so I'm laboring all day long practically, making all these different mug cakes. Yeah. She goes down in the microwave in about 5 minutes, brings up coffee, and now she wants some credit for it.
Exactly.
What's wrong with this picture?
I just want to let them know that if you make this, it's really good with coffee. You can just make a cup of coffee, and then you got a dessert after eating your cucumber, kind of.
Tell them what they should do if they enjoyed this video.
Please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment below and tell us how much you love it. And then if you have not really subscribed, there is a button to subscribe, and you just click on it, and then click on the little bell that follows it afterwards, and then YouTube will notify you each time we post anything.